Good evening, everybody, and welcome to your AEW Collision and Battle of the Belts review. I am your host, the Matty Man, and you are live on the Sicko Show. How's everybody doing tonight? I don't have anybody in just yet. All right, everything's starting to come into place now. We got a little late start tonight. The internet was not wanting to play ball with us, but we're here now. We're live. We're live. Like gang, comment gang, share gang, donation gang. Oh wow. Bear with me just one moment here. Might be on a hold up here for just a minute, so stick with me. Every week it's the same thing. Once again, welcome to your AEW Collision and Battle of the Belts review. I am your host, the Matty Man. I'm waiting on a window to get out of my way here because apparently I had to give some permissions. Bear with me just one second here. Eh, there's always something going on here. Let's see what we got here. Sorry, guys, we're having some technical difficulties here. We're trying to get everything up and running. First, it was the internet, and now it's this. So, we're going to get to the news early here. The news for the week. If you have not heard yet, the NBA and TNT are getting ready to get into a deeply embroiled lawsuit, which means that we may not have any updates on our television deal with AEW for quite some time. It is my understanding that Tony Khan has agreed to a deal in principle with Warner Brothers, but we don't have a final deal yet. And with the excess lawsuits, that's going to be fun. That's going to take roughly about 2 years. Mark it down on your calendar, which I knew that last night when they said lawsuit, but the news is actually coming to me from the Covalent TV, which is a stream that I highly recommend. When they're on, you should check them out. AEW's Big Brother, I should say. And so, with that in mind, I am not going to do a red light tonight, simply because we've had so much fun getting this stream up and running that I decided I'm just going to jump right into your review because it's already getting late. We've already been up. We've watched a lot of beautiful, beautiful wrestling. Then we saw an Orange Cassidy match in the middle of all that. But, I'm getting to the point now with Orange where if Tony's going to keep sticking him in my face, I better figure out a way to like him. Not that I'm arguing with Tony. Tony's the booker, etc., etc., etc. And quite frankly, Collision, Dynamite. Now, Rampage is still a little bit on the sketchy side, but I think really it's a show that's in need of a new theme. It was created a while back to placate one Phil Brooks. I'm not even going to call him by his ring name. It was built to accommodate, and here we are. We got an hour long show trying to cram some stuff in there. But Collision and Dynamite for the last several weeks have been on fire. Tony Khan, you got to keep doing this. You keep doing this right here. And I'm telling you, WWE fans are going to have more to bitch about. And frankly, I like that. Doesn't bother me that much. How's everybody doing tonight? We're only at 3 people right now, so let's get that up. Like gang, comment gang, share gang, and donation gang. If you feel the urge to drop a dime or two, our Cash App is Matthew with 2 T's, Sandra, Sandra 23. And all donations go directly back into this stream. The main reason I'm not too concerned about tonight is we have a massive powerhouse coming on Tuesday, so the stream should be faster, should flow better, and should look a lot better. Right now, we're having to go with bare bones because the system requirements that we need are simply not there, and I want to get the stream out and get used to talking to people because it's not something I do on a regular basis. That said, it's time to call the cops. What do you mean? What do you mean? Because we have a massive collision on our hands. I'm working on that. I'll get a better intro one of these days. Just bear with me. We're trying to get everything together. So we kicked off the show with Orange Cassidy and Johnny TV, and immediately I thought to myself, you know what? I really want to escape this match altogether. I'm not ready to see Orange Cassidy every single week, but here we are. Johnny TV comes out with Tara Valkyrie, and obviously that's a push for the Battle of the Belts to come at the top of or at the end of Collision. Johnny TV comes out with his usual stuff, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and you know the antics that Johnny TV and basically anybody who wrestles Orange Cassidy, the antics they have to do to keep up with this independent wrestling stick that apparently we're just never going to get rid of. Um, Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In this particular scenario, thank God, Johnny TV had to work at the other company, so he knows how to make, lemons out of lemonade, or lemonade out of lemons. What I said, or what I mean, not what I say. Okay. Meanwhile, the announce crew, Tony Schiavone is busy calling this thing a fast-paced match. I'm about halfway to go to sleep in the middle of it. It was good. Johnny TV, y'all got to sign this dude. Somebody needs to sign this dude because of one thing. The man possesses a library in his mind from multiple promotions. He was a highlight reel for a lot of WWE matches. You know, Tony, of all the people we go sign crazy for, I'm going to say that Johnny TV is probably one you should put on a long term deal. If nothing more, he can teach rookies in the ring. He has a great style, he has great charisma, cuts a pretty damn good promo, and he knows how to do heel shit. Hint, hint, wink, wink. It was hard to boo him because it's Orange Cassidy. Don't get me wrong, Tony. I like him in small doses, but every single week, you've been doing good about keeping the favorites out of there. And part of me kind of wishes you did, but we didn't. Here we are. And moving on to the match. Crowd actually seemed to be into this. They had dueling chants for Orange Cassidy and Johnny TV. So obviously they're carrying both sides well enough to get this crowd woke up. Usually, and I'm going to paraphrase this. One of my friends over on Facebook, who is a professional wrestler, his name is Damian Wayne Costle. He said something yesterday that really caught my attention. When you're going to open a show, it is imperative that the energy be high. You don't want to go out there and put on a boring first match, because that is going to be the key going into the rest of the night. Your first match sets the tone. So for those of you who can't figure out why we don't like 35 minutes of promos to open up a show, it's because that first few minutes sets the tone for the whole show. And when you start off with trash, that leaves your fans sitting there going, well, this was trash. The rest of it's going to be trash too. But, amazingly enough, and I'm going to give credit to Orange Cassidy, which is one of the things I normally don't do, but in this case, he absolutely deserves it. The fact of the matter that he managed to pull off a really good match with Johnny TV. They managed to get the crowd going. They managed to energize the fan base. Eh, I'm going to give him a pass on this match. Normally, I am not the biggest fan, obviously. But in this case right here, I'm going to give him a pass because the crowd just started getting into it, into it. I'm going to just go on the results base for this one because there was just too much weird shit in this one. And by weird shit, I'm getting tired of the hands in the pants. I'm getting tired of the fake kicks. I'm getting tired of all that. So when it does pick up, here's let me put this in a way that it really fully communicates my sentiment. Let's see here. If no, I'm just gonna escape. Orange Cassidy won with the orange punch. Valkyrie tried to get involved near the end of it. She was stopped by Willow. She's just so damn cute. And Valkyrie and Willow were fighting up the ramp and everything else, so Johnny TV did not have his help anymore. Orange Cassidy hits the orange punch, and we don't go to break. We go to a Bang Bang Gang promo, which I am going to escape. And then we go to break. We come back. We have the Blackpool Combat Club. We have Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castronova versus Brian Cage and Lee Moriarty of Top and Top Flight with Dante and Darius. We have a three-way tag team match. Yuta and Dante start the match up. This thing actually really saved the first hour for me. The action was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now, the only thing I would have liked to have had in this match is to have one representative from each. Because I was a little confused. We were having a three-way tag match, but we only had two competitors in there. The other competitor, literally kept out of the ring. You could actually lose the match and never get tagged in. So I was a little bit confused on that. But the match, the work rate in this match was nothing but fire. I will tell you right now, Wheeler Yuta brings the energy. Brian Cage is probably one of the most underutilized talents in all of AEW because he can do lucha shit at his size and his build. And he isn't supposed to do lucha shit. Get it right, I mean. But it's fast paced. This match actually was fast paced, Tony Schiavone. That's something you need to know. This match was actually fast paced. And at the end, the action starts breaking down. When action starts breaking down, you got 6 men in the ring. Anything can happen. Everybody got to hit their moves. Everybody got to do their move sets. The crowd was really overly into this match. As was I, actually. I was marking out from my chair trying to take notes. And near the end of the match, Claudio Castronola is like one of my favorite wrestlers. I probably butcher his name 10,566 times, but shit happens. Anyway, that spot where he grabbed the hot tag and proceeded to do like a million European uppercuts, one end of the ring to the other, one end of the ring to the other. The giant swing down on the floor. I don't know what's going on with Claudio's booking right now, but whatever that is, man, fix that shit. The fans love him. Claudio loves the fans. So with that said, I really honestly don't understand the trajectory of the booking, but whatever it is, fix that shit. I mean, seriously, fix that shit. Claudio deserves a title run. He's been faithful to the company. I realize the company's only been around 5 years, but he's been really faithful to the company when he had options and he didn't use them. So I'm not 100% sure what the storyline is here with him constantly getting beat the hell down and not winning matches. Fix that. Wheeler Yuta close this match out with the pin over Lee Moriarty. And main roster stuff, main roster stuff. Long story short, results based on that one too. The action in this match was really good. Guys, Brian Cage is a legit star. I have no earthly idea what the problem is with big guys in AEW, but Brian Cage is a legit star. Should be booked as a legit star. Should be booked as a powerhouse. No pun intended. But Wheeler Yuta gets the pin, and we move to the back, and we have a conglomeration promo, which is basically Willow Nightingale dropping some knowledge. And Willow brought the words. Great promo. Mark Briscoe just keeps reinventing the comedy every single week. Now, let me preface this part here too. Tony. While this is making the car go boom right now, people are going to get tired of this real quick. I mean, the baby was a good touch. Mini Mark, that was a great touch. Um, anyway, conglomeration steps away. Orange Cassidy's leaning up against our interview. Says nothing, does nothing, just smiles funny. And we're back to the ring here for the wow moment of hour number one. And quite frankly, thank you, Tony. For the first time in a long time. And by a long time, I mean since I've been watching Collision, which has only been about 3 months. So I'm not going to opine that I've been watching Collision faithfully longer than about 3 months, because I haven't. But as long as I've been watching Dynamite, Collision, both shows, and Rampage here and there, when you are going to commercial break, when you are coming back from commercial break, the picture in picture is okay, but canceling out the last 30 seconds of the match during commercial time for a whole commercial, I mean, that's what we got to do. The ratings that everybody keeps talking about for some idiotic, stupid reason are generated at the beginning of the hour, the bottom of the hour, top of the hour, the bottom of the hour, and the finale. Shout out to Tony Khan, finally booking Hologram versus the Beast Motos at the turn of the hour. I'm expecting these numbers to be way better than the last set of numbers I saw for Collision last week, simply because somebody had to have leaned into Tony's ear and said, you know what? Having a hot ass match going into the top of the hour is probably a good idea and a good way to keep viewers. And we were blessed. Hologram, sir. Mortos, sir. Two different reasons, same story. Hologram, you are by far and away one of the best luchas I have ever seen. I look forward to seeing all of your matches. I really look forward to seeing you and Will Ospreay. I look forward to seeing you and Rey Fenix. There are just so many damn people I look forward to seeing you wrestle. Beast, same thing, different reasons. The crowd is really into this match because the crowd likes Hologram. Good call, good pick, good catch, Tony Khan. Hey, 9 viewers, yes. Give me just 1 second here. All right. I'm sorry, my paper. I apologize, people. It's been a long day. It's going to be a long night. And with all the technical difficulties just to get here, I'm surprised the stream's still on. Anyway, like gang, comment gang, share gang, donation gang if you feel so led. I would appreciate it. Every dime does go back into the stream. So we're back for Hologram and the Beast Mortos. The crowd is absolutely livid in this match. Lots of back and forth, high energy, which is what you need coming into the top of the hour, Tony. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You got it. You nailed it. So shout out to Tony, too. Absolutely. So, anyway, let's see here. Hologram picked up where he left off last Saturday. Man doesn't seem to miss a beat, and his matches are not generic. I actually saw a lot of innovation in this. And guys, Mortos is just a damn beast. What else are you going to say about him? That is the biggest lucha flying dude I think I've ever seen masked. Now, I could be wrong on that. If you're in the chat, you can definitely send me something. Tell me where I'm wrong. Hey, let's get these chats going, man. Let's get some engagement going. I want to see some chats. Come on, give them to me. I'll answer questions. I'm not just here to rattle off. If you have questions, by all means, drop them in the chat. I think the chat's working. If it's not working, it will definitely be working next week. I will be answering any of your chat questions. But the energy in this thing was absolutely ridiculous. Mortos does do some of the typical heel stuff, and he's supposed to be the heel in this thing, guys. Everybody's giving him shit. I saw it on Twitter. They're like, why's he got to do this? Why's he got to do that? He's the heel, people. The heel. He's the bad guy. He's supposed to do bad guy shit. If he does bad guy shit, he gets booed. If he gets booed, he's doing his job. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be here all week. Hologram turns into an absolute highlight reel near the end of this match. Proves he is absolutely not human. Walks the top rope. Does a hurricanrana into a crucifix for the win. Crowd is left absolutely speechless for about 20 seconds. Then they start losing their shit, as they should. Hologram is the real deal. I've seen a lot of people come in and try to do it, but Hologram's doing it better than anybody right now. So shout out to Tony for grabbing him. Shout out to the matches we're going to see with him. Shout out to everybody who's going to be able to keep up with him. Ricochet. I'm sorry. Sorry. Bless me. Hologram's not human though. Top rope walk, Hurricanrana into a crucifix pinfall was so beautiful. Hologram, you good. You very good. I mean, you good. You good. You good. Ain't no other way to say it. So we got a break. When we come back, we have Thunder Rosa versus Maya World, whom I actually followed on Twitter tonight. It only has 300 followers. We should fix that. Maya World only has like 300 followers on Twitter. Um, if you're within the sound of my voice, you're watching the replay or whatever, go find her, add her. She's a damn good wrestler. The new look, new attitude Thunder Rosa after losing to Deonna Purrazzo. New look, new attitude. Thunder Rosa, Thunder Rosa, Thunder Rosa. A whole lot of chain wrestling. Obviously, Maya's a rookie. And she was Rookie of the Year last year, but obviously she's still a rookie. Good move set, good moves, fast paced. One of my favorite things about AEW is the women move almost as fast as the men do. It's really an equal presentation, and this was no different. Thunder Rosa had her moves. I didn't exactly know what Maya World's moves are because I haven't really done all the research yet. She's brand new to me, so maybe next week when I get back, if I see her again, I'll have a whole lot more to say about her, except for the fact that for a rookie, she sure as hell didn't look like one. She held her end up in the match, and that's all you can ever ask, especially when you got a star, promoter, done it all. Thunder Rosa is everything to women's wrestling right now. She's a wrestling star, a promoter. She gives back, takes back, gives back, trains, you name it, she's doing it. Okay? So, Thunder Rosa actually added a new move to her move set, and she got the win with the camel clutch. And then went to the corner of the ring, got right up on the hard camera, which really isn't the hard camera, but she got right up on the camera and invited Deonna Purrazzo to enjoy the punishment, bitch. Good promo, good action, short, sweet, to the point. This is what I'm going to do, etc., etc. Once again, veteran promo, good promo, sets up the match for next week pretty well. And of course, being non-biased and impartial here, Maya World, Tony, I'm not sure that you should jump like right away, but you should keep an eye on her because she's just getting started. And I did see the amount of rookie that she did bring to the ring, but I also saw the amount of posh professionalism she brought to the ring too. Don't sleep on Maya World. Definitely not an enhancement talent. Definitely not a jobber. She's a future title holder. So Tony, like we say all the time on all the shows, it might not hurt to keep an eye on Maya there. It really might not. Definitely got potential. That's a fact. Definitely got potential. And then we go to the back. Lance Archer's beating up the production crew. I'm sorry, jobbers. I'm sorry, enhancement talent all over the place. And then we go back to the ring with the conglomeration versus the premier athletes. Mark Sterling comes in with the cheap heat, etc., etc. I'm pretty much going to escape this one too because it was just typical conglomeration stuff. A little bit of chain wrestling, a little bit of everybody in the ring, everybody doing something, etc., etc., etc. And then then it goes really stale. Then the pace picks up. Then we have the I gotta get my shit in moment where everybody jumps in and gets their shit in. And then you have some sort of sketchy finish, which in this case was O'Reilly over Woods. I snagged him into an armbar, and we go to the back. Jericho had cut some kind of promo. I tuned out. Tuned out. Back to the ring. Lance Archer comes back, picks up where he left off, stops beating jobbers in the back, starts beating one single jobber in the ring. Squash match, just what you're looking for. Lance Archer, comes out and says, I'm the best in the world, etc., etc., etc. Typical squash match. And I'm with Mr. Starks on this one, Tony. If you're gonna pull the trigger on the Lance Archer push, let's get surgical on this here for a minute. If you're actually gonna pull the trigger on the Lance Archer push, go ahead and pull the damn thing. This is getting really, really close to how WWE books their stuff. And the average AEW fan doesn't want to see it booked that way. We know Lance is big. We know the production crew is tiny. We know the production crew hasn't been fed in 6 months, if you ask the trolls. So they're probably dying of starvation and easy targets. In the ring, Lance Archer is a fucking beast. And for an older guy, that's saying something. Without a doubt, without a thought, if you're going to start booking him, just take it all the way. I really want to see him in a major title feud instead of beating up jobbers. Okay? Let's get that part right out of the way. So, yeah, Lance Archer did a thing with a jobber, beat the hell out of him. 1, 2, 3. It's a 2-minute squash match, as it should have been. And we go back to the back, and then we go to commercial. Back from commercial, FTR and the M&M collection. It would have been better to call them the M&M Connection. So we have a conglomeration, a collection, and an FTR all in the same show, all in the same building, all making not a damn lick of sense. I love FTR, and to be honest with you, when the gimmick in WWE was the maximum male models, and you couldn't tell whether they were trying to get them over, Maxine over, or now as we know him, LA Knight over, they were pretty good. I mean, they could work that heel shit pretty well. Of course, they were still doing formula matches. In the ring tonight in AEW was the birth of the M&M collection. That's right, boys and girls. They are going to be calling to collect donations. No. For real, for real, for real. Solid in-ring work tonight. Solid move sets. Solid tags. Solid chemistry. Both parties. And for a majority of this match, you honestly felt like the M&M collection could beat them. Which is absolutely amazing because I didn't think they could beat them. I've seen them wrestle. I've seen them play fight. I've seen them pretend to be models. I've never once seen them pretend to be badasses. New look, new sight. But anyway, FTR wins the match with their usual stuff. Backstage, the Elaine cut a promo. Max Caster, blah, blah, blah. Um, for me, the less Caster, the better. Max Caster, you are not the greatest wrestler in the world. You are not even the greatest wrestler on the card. You are not even the greatest wrestler in your section of the card. Stop it. You basically get out there on the mic, tell dick and fart jokes, go in the ring, stink the son of a bitch up, make everybody look worse for having been in there with you. No pause. And the last thing we need to close the show out is for you to be declaring yourself a wrestling god. Goddess, maybe. No. And not even cute. But there was no need for this. There was no need. Everybody who follows AEW knows you have a world title shot. Everybody who follows AEW knows what happened in Blood and Guts last week. Everybody in AEW knows you're a bitch. So I'm sorry, calling out FTR, talking about, why was you not there with us? We won. It's bullshit. Cut it out. Tony, I really, really, really want to like these guys. I want to like Orange Cassidy. I want to like Max Caster. I've seen some of Max's independent work and it ain't half bad. I want to like all of them. Unfortunately, you're just not giving me anything to sink my teeth into. And the more I see Orange Cassidy and the more Max Caster opens his mouth, the more your ratings plummet. I can't wait to see the Nationals for that segment. I have a feeling that a lot of people changed the channel for a minute to see what was going on over in the Paris Games before they hop back for Battle of the Belts and before they hop back for this outstanding, God almighty, pay-per-view level match. And I'm not talking about a main event. I'm not even talking about a high up mid card. But this match was definitely pay per view level. Lio Rush, sir. Lio motherfucking Rush, sir. You just keep doing you. That was every time I see you on television, every time I see you on the indies, it's like there's no lull. You just keep bringing it, and bringing it. Main event time, Lio Rush versus the Bastard Pac. I still want to call him Pac. Anyway, Lio Rush versus the Bastard Pac was our main event, and it was a main event on any televised show ever. I put that main event up against anything WWE has booked in the last 2 years. And I'm going to be honest with you, I put it up with anything AEW has booked in the last 3 months since I've been watching it regularly. Now, I've seen some great matches. Don't get me wrong. I've seen Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson. I've seen Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland. I've seen some really good matches. I've seen Bryan Danielson crank out a few. I have seen everybody on the roster crank out a few. But Lio Rush, if I can cheerlead for just 1 minute, Lio Rush deserves a contract before anybody else gets one. He has brought it time in, time out, time in, time out. He never leaves anything outside the ring. It's all in the ring. When he's out of there, he doesn't have one thing left. That's Lio Rush. And Lio Rush versus Pac was indeed the main event. The Bastard Pac. And at the beginning of the match, I was kind of wondering. Pac has had a very busy schedule this week. He was in CMLL on Sunday. He was at Dynamite Wednesday and continued to do a second match for Rampage on Friday. And we roll back into the Eastport Arena on Saturday. And he just kind of looked like the tank was half empty there for a while. The one thing about the Bastard Pack, I think, that holds him back and keeps him there at the mid cards, because I've watched several of his matches, they all start out slow, but once they pick up, it's business. It is business in the ring. Anyway, Pac Lio Rush did not. It didn't disappoint, man. It was like watching the bouncing ball bounce like it was on crack cocaine. They were back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Good, solid, strong moves. Good, solid chain wrestling. Good near finishes. This was not a spot fest. It was also not a false finish fest. Those were actually well orchestrated, almost finishes. Had you sitting on the edge of your seat, had you wondering what was going on, and then boom! Pac drops that brutalizer on him for the win. And we go to the end of the show. Pac's sitting there at the ring smiling as the camera goes off and the credits roll. And we're told that we're heading right into Battle of the Belts. Mm. And with that said, if you could book a Dynamite like this is a 1 hour show, guys. If you could book a Dynamite like this, if you can book this like this, there is absolutely no excuse for Dynamite. I mean, not Dynamite, but Rampage. There is absolutely zero excuse why Rampage has to be the way it is. After you book Battle of the Belts, it's out the window. I'm not giving it anymore. I'm not I'm not going to be, you know, defending it or anything at that point, because this Battle of the Belts is exactly 1 hour, three well thought out, well planned, well booked matches. So we're going to kick it off with a recap of Dynamite, and of course, which winds up with a recap of Tony Storm, which winds up with a recap of all of that beautiful work. Tony Storm. Tony Storm, Tony Booty. Tony Storm. If you do not have Tony Storm in your top three for Women Wrestler of the Year, I don't know what shows you're watching. Tony opens up this thing. Yeah, she's fighting Tyra Valkyria, Johnny TV's wife. Tony Storm opens up, comes out, brand new look, brand new robes, still black and white, brand new look, though, straight hair, which I've never seen that on her. Kind of interesting. Just kind of interesting. I'm going to leave it at that. Comes right out, gets in Tyra's face. Tyra smiles, laughs back, etc., etc., gives her a shove, got the sunglasses on, tries to do a couple of moves with the sunglasses, and all of a sudden something in Tony Storm just snaps like a cheap rubber band. She goes crazy, hops out there with a Thez press to kick this thing off, and we are off to the races.